Okay, most people start building a home gym by buying equipment. Architects start by designing the space. Today, I'm building a high-performance home gym for under $500 using Amazon, but thinking like an architect. I will break down how to choose the perfect place in your home, find the right spacing, find the right training zone, how to position the equipment so it makes sense. We will discuss what we are optimizing for when buying the equipment and how to get the best per square meter for dollars. We'll start with a $500 core setup that you can find on Amazon, and then we will slowly build up with interior design add-ons so you can really finalize the space and get the best out of it. When it comes to setting up your home gym on a tight budget, you want to look at the space in the beginning before buying the equipment. The key question is what makes the room suitable for training before you buy anything. Alright, let's have a look at our scene. We have 25 square meters with white walls, white ceiling, some spotlights on the ceiling, and then actually we got windows or a balcony on the right side. We have a wooden flooring, which is quite important, and we will talk later about how to choose the right flooring or how to adjust and optimize the situation for your room. Keep in mind that the budget doesn't matter if the layout is wrong. That's why we have to choose the space before buying the equipment. In the beginning, there are some essential points that you want to consider. We want to have a clear training zone, which has at least 2 meters by 2 meters of workout radius. The next key point is your ceiling height. You want to have a minimum of 2 meters 50, but everything above is even better, so you can do overhead presses, pull-ups, muscle-ups, and position your squat rigs without any problems. Then you want to look at the light direction. In this scene, we have natural light coming in from the right side, and we can actually extend the space to the balcony, which is a quite nice setup. So make sure you have at least one window in your training zone so you can circulate the air but also have natural light coming in. Then you want to make sure that you have at least 2 clear walls without any dead zones so you have enough space to position your equipment. The last essential point for your home gym is the right floor capacity. In this case, we have a wooden floor and we will fix it by choosing the right surface that we can put on the wooden floor, because keep in mind we have a lot of load coming in which will be distributed on the flooring, and a wooden floor is not suitable for a home gym space. If you have a concrete floor, that's actually the best starting point, because then you can think about mounting your squat rig and other equipment directly to the floor. The key point in the beginning is that the equipment adapts to the space, not the other way around. So now that we understand the room, let's design the system. But before you start scrolling on Amazon, you want to define your training intent before you buy any kind of equipment. So ask yourself, what are you optimizing for? Is it strength? Is it hypertrophy? Is it conditioning? Or is it a hybrid concept? In our shopping list, we will go for a minimal hybrid setup, so we can do a lot of bodyweight exercises like pull-ups and dips, but also use heavy weights for compound movements like deadlifts and squats and bench press. Make sure that you get the maximum return per square meter in the beginning, because if you are on a tight budget like $500, you want to make sure that you get a lot of compound movements. Considering that, let's find our $500 core setup in the beginning. Alright, so the first item that you are looking for is the flooring or mat that you can put on your wooden or concrete floor, so you can start defining the right zone. For the floor protection, we want to make sure that we are defining the zone in the room. Since we've got a balcony and a big window coming in from the right side, we'll use this as guidance for the zoning, and we'll use the 2 vertical walls as our main training zone, so we'll align the mats horizontally to the flooring. So the first product I can recommend is the Pro Iron Floor Protection Mat. The key stats that you are looking for when it comes to choosing the right flooring is having the right measurements for your space and having the right thickness for the rubber mat. you want to have at least 5mm thickness. So the measurements are 2 meters by 92 centimeters. This will be a nice starting point, but you want to make sure that you have at least 2 to 3 of those mats so you can define the proper gym zone. Okay, so the next item will be your main piece, which will be the most expensive one in the beginning. Since we are on a tight budget, we can't spend $200 or $300 on a squat rack, so instead we will go for a power tower. A power tower is a nice alternative to a squat rack. We can still do pull-ups, dips, and we can put a barbell inside of it, so you can do squats, deadlifts, rows, and a bench press. So you get all the good compound movements in one setup. For the power tower, we'll go for the T-Rex Sport 100 PR dip station and pull-up bar, which is a freestanding multifunctional steel power tower. So it's steel based, we can still do pull-ups. The good thing about this power tower that it gets more stable the more weights you are putting on the feet. So it's not shaky in the beginning and you can use other equipment and fixtures on this power tower. It has load capacity up to 300 kilograms, so it's a really nice starting point in the beginning. In order to position this power tower correctly, you want to make sure that you have enough space for clearance on the right side, on the left side, and in front of the power tower. So make sure you align it to the wall. We'll go for center alignment so we can put the weights on the right on the left side, since the barbell will be placed right into the power tower. Alright, the next item is probably the most important one. It is the barbell. And here I see the biggest mistake people make all the time. They are going for a really budget option and don't want to spend a lot of money on the barbell. This will be the equipment that will last the longest if you pick correctly. So make sure you spend the right amount. The one we are going for is an Olympia barbell by Physical. This one has a really nice quality. It's a real Olympic barbell, which weighs 20 kilograms and has 7 feet. This is a professional all-rounder barbell, and if you use it correctly, you can use it for your whole life. This will be your main training piece in the beginning, so choose wisely and don't go for a budget option here. The barbell will allow us to do all the big compound lifts which are necessary for a nice hybrid training intent. So we can do the squats, deadlifts, bench press. The next step will be choosing the right plates for your barbell. Since we've got a rubber flooring, we don't need any bumper plates, so you can go for real cast iron plates, which I would always recommend. Here we'll choose the HubSpot cast iron weight plates. They have a really nice diameter. You can get 2 for $100. Of course, it's only 20 kilograms per side, but in the beginning, you can't spend all your money on the weight plates. Surely, if you get stronger, you can get to more and make sure you have enough weight. But the good thing about having at least 2 plates and a barbell is that you can do all the big compound lifts. You can do deadlifts, you can do squats, you can do presses, bench presses, overhead presses, you can do rows. Then you have your power tower, which you can use for dips and pull-ups. So you have a really nice setup for your full body. The last item for your gym setup will be the bench. We'll go for an adjustable bench, so you can use it for incline movements. And here actually the Amazon Basics, and you can use it as a flat bench press, an incline bench press, and also for overhead movements. So you have a really nice setup with just 4 pieces of equipment. If you want to save money on the bench and the weight plates, you should consider looking out on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or eBay. There you might be able to find the weights and the incline bench for a much lower price. The next item is probably the most underrated item in all home gym equipment. I'm talking about the gymnastic rings. The gymnastic rings are one of the most versatile options you should include in your home gym. You will be able to train muscle ups, you can do a lot of row movements, you can even isolate your arms by using the gym rings. You have a really functional and unilateral movement for your arms. So if you are on a tight budget, this is probably one of the best items you should buy for developing a really functional and hybrid upper body. You can even do flies, reverse flies, pec decks. You can do bicep curls and tricep extensions. So it's so versatile. You can even use it for training legs. You can do Bulgarian split squats by putting one leg inside of the rings. So I can really recommend going for the gymnastic rings. Here we will go for the Gorn Nation wooden gymnastic rings. Please make sure to choose wooden rings and not the plastic version, because when we are sweating, you will lose the grip on the plastic rings. The wooden rings have a much better grip. If you have a budget for gymnastic rings, make sure to buy them. You can mount them to the pull-up bar, and since we got the weights which fix our power tower, you can do even rolls and extensions without having problems with shakiness. Let's talk about how you can position those elements so it enhances your performance and it feels intentional and not improvised. We want to align the equipment to the wall axis. We want to maintain 90 degrees spatial relationships so we have clear zones, and you want to create one primary training direction. This removes visual clutter, and you can define your training boundary with your mats and the equipment. Make sure to reduce friction as much as possible so you really feel good in this place. Alright, so we got a $500 base setup, which you can find on Amazon. Now I'm going to show you how you can upgrade this base with a few items so you can elevate your workout. The next key upgrade for your home gym will be adjustable dumbbells. That sounds funny, but actually if you are on a tight budget, then adjustable dumbbells are the best way you can upgrade your home gym. And nowadays there are really nice options which are designed well and have a really nice weight stacking option. Here we will go for a German brand which is called Eisenlink. Those are really nice adjustable square dumbbells with a nice 20 to 36 kilogram range, which is perfect in the beginning. You can do a lot of unilateral movements. You can do curls, extensions, bench presses. You will be able to do a lot of unilateral stuff, and those are pretty easy to clip. They have a nice clipping system with steel plates and 2 screws on the sides. So make sure you'll get a pair of these. After buying dumbbells, you will later also think about getting kettlebells. And for all these smaller units, you want to consider getting a dumbbell stand so you can position your dumbbells, your kettlebells, and all your free weights in a really nice tight frame. Here I can recommend the PickPiff adjustable dumbbell stand. It's made out of metal, it's pretty stable, and it's a good frame for the beginning. We will use the dumbbell stand to accentuate the boundary of our gym zone, so we will place it on the right lower corner so we still have the movement zone in the center. Alright, nice. We got a really nice tight home gym setup right now. We got our gym zone, we can use free weights, we can use the barbell, we can do free body weight movements. So we got a really nice zone for ourselves. You are light coming in, but let's talk about how you can elevate your space with a few interior design items. This is where you separate yourself from the typical home fitness studio or the commercial gym. We'll make sure it's cozy, it's architectural, we'll use the lighting, and we'll use some key interior elements so you can separate the space and make it really nice. But since this gym is placed in our home, we want to make sure that when we are not using the gym space, that we can melt the boundary with some key elements so it's not always visible, or we can just make it a little bit transparent from the other living areas. But before melting the place with your home, we want to get one key element, which will be the mirror for your home gym space. This will not only allow to see yourself when you are doing the movements, or you can use it for flexing, of course, but the most important part of using mirrors in your gym space is that you can pull in the light from your windows, so you can even have more natural light in your gym space. So make sure you position the mirrors on the opposite side of the window. In this way you can extend the space, get more light in, and the space will feel much more activated with more energy and more light. Here we will go for 3 room height mirrors. We will position them on the left wall, and now we have fully defined our gym zone area. When positioning the mirrors, make sure that you are not putting a mirror behind your main lifts. Keep in mind that you want to line them perfectly to the walls. Mirrors can extend the space visually, but distort perception if they are misaligned. So just keep it in mind. The next key item for your clean architectural look will be a curtain system. We will use white, semi-transparent curtains, which we will mount to a curtain railing system right before our gym zone boundary. This will allow to separate the space between your living zone and your gym space, so you can just make it visible or hide the gym zone if necessary. I would definitely recommend a white, semi-transparent fabric, but you can also choose a more translucent or completely closed fabric if you desire. I think the semi-transparent will give you the best look. Make sure the curtains have the full room height so you can get the real clean room separation. Now that you have a really nice room separation, you want to think about how you can elevate the connection between your gym space and your living space. And this option will go for a combination between seating elements, plants, and small tables, so you can put a drink, your coffee, or a magazine. The key thing is here to position the interior elements in front of the curtain, because now we want to make sure that we are melting the boundary between the curtain and the gym zone. For the plants, we'll choose a pair of Strelitzia, which we will position in a neutral dark gray or dark brown pot. For the seating area in front of the curtain, we'll go for a combination with a round side table made out of wood. The brand for the side table is Cagnouillère, and for $100 it's actually a really nice designer piece that will elevate the space in front of your gym zone. You can put a drink, your coffee, some magazines, or even a small plant. We'll go for 1 white and 1 dark brown side table. It's $100, but it's actually a nice designer piece that you can buy on Amazon, which will elevate your space and make it look much more intellectual. For the seating, we'll choose 2 poofs, which will give us a more comfy look. Here we'll go for the Lumaland Teddy Series beanbag. You can go for muted tones like this beige, brown, or gray tone. By getting these 3 elements, 1 plant, 1 side table, and 1 seating bag, you will be able to have a really nice seating area in front of your gym zone. You can use this zone for resting in between sets, for drinking, having a coffee, or just having a nice cozy read when your gym is closed. So this whole setup cost less than most people spend on a single machine. The difference wasn't the budget, it was thinking. Most home gyms fail before the first workout because they are built like shopping carts but not like systems. Think like an architect, train like an athlete. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. See you next time.